What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Tunji's podcast. I am your host, Tunji Taylor Lewis. One thing that I forgot to celebrate yesterday on yesterday's podcast was that I yesterday recorded my 100th episode. I've done 100. This is the 101st episode of the live podcast that I've done, which is crazy. I genuinely checked my IGTV feed just to make sure that I actually did 100 and I wasn't just making that number up. But no, it's been 100 episodes, so and it's cool. It's still growing. People are still enjoying it, which is which is always good to know. People are still engaging with it, so that's dope. So yay to 100 episodes! Woo! Today I want to talk about comedy versus drama, or specifically what my preference is as far as the work I want to be doing. I recently had one of my best friends ask me if I had a choice right now, or what kind of projects would I like to be on right now as far as like acting gigs. Would I want to be in more comedy gigs or more drama gigs? And I said without hesitation, comedy. Being in comedy movies would be a number one priority for me, and is a priority for me. And they were asking the question, like, why there's so much opportunity in doing dramas, like, you don't gotta do just comedy, and which is absolutely true. But I guess I was just more asking the question, I was more answering from the question from the standpoint of like, I definitely want to be great in comedy. As far as being, I definitely want to be a great comedic actor, more so than I want to be a great dramatic actor. And I guess that's just for the simple reason that we just view our favorite comedy people and our favorite drama people in completely different ways. Hello, inspiring actor. Dang, this is the perfect episode for you because I'm talking about acting right now. Inspiring actor, great job. Great job, and this is the right life for you. But anyways, I think the thing about our favorite dramatic actors, like in my, using me as an example, the people who I see as the greatest actors that I've ever seen are Denzel Washington and Leonardo DiCaprio. And if I were to meet these two individuals, I would sort of look at them as like not of this planet, like not of this world, like up on this pedestal, like, oh my goodness, you're this amazing and glorious talent, and I'm just a lowly peasant. I'm just a nobody. Like, how dare I even be in your presence? That sort of thing. So, dramatic people, we see them out here. But the cool thing about comedians or people who make us laugh, whether it's a stand-up comedian like Kevin Hart, or it's a comedic actor like Will Smith, Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, you feel like those people are like your friends. Like, you feel like you know them. And I really feel like that's the amazing and powerful thing about comedy. And it's certainly been my experience when I'm doing like comedic stuff on stage, whether it's been improv or whether it's been, comedy plays or comedy movies or doing funny stuff on social media. Like y'all, I've had a bunch of people refer to me as their brother, like whether it's big brother or little brother, depending on whether they're older or younger than me. People on social media feel like they have like a real connection with me, like they almost know me personally because I've made them laugh on social media. And I just think that there's something like super powerful in that. And I would much rather have that. I would much rather feel like I'm building a community of people where I'm like approachable and people feel like they can talk to me. I would much rather have that than be put up on some sort of pedestal where people feel like they can't approach me, or I'm up here and they're down here somehow. And that definitely comes from a place of growing up feeling like I was sort of different from people all the time. I'm sort of going through those experiences right now currently, if I'm being completely honest, but that's another podcast for another day. What does inspiring actor say? I just want to be an actor who plays a diversity of characters and be limited to a particular genre of acting. I think what inspiring actor is trying to say, he wants to do a diverse set of stuff. That's dope. I love that. I think like that's the thing that that most like actors do want to do. Like actors just want to like take on any role because they want to feel, because I guess it's important for an actor to know that you can do a diversity of roles. Yeah, exactly. Inspiring actor say he doesn't want to, he or she doesn't want to be limited. I think it's a guy. And for me, you know what's interesting about comedy though? Comedy, in order to do good comedy, you do actually have to be grounded. Like in order to be a good comedic actor, you do actually have to be grounded in realism and do stuff for real. Will Smith on Fresh Prince is a great example. Like he spent the majority of that show being absolutely hilarious and doing different characters. But the moment you ask him to do that, you know, really heavy scene with Uncle Phil where his dad left, he did that shit amazingly, like, and he was crying and all that stuff. So that's also like another sort of I guess advantage I feel like for just like zeroing in and focusing on comedy. It's just like I know that I can do the dramatic stuff if I want to, because comedy is like this really amazing thing where like on the surface it may seem like we're being silly, but it really is grounded and it really does come from, you know, real emotion and real stuff that you're feeling. But back to the point that I was making earlier, is like the reason why I would much rather have people feel like I'm their friend or feel like I'm a brother of theirs or like a family member as opposed to being put up on a pedestal is because I grew up and I'm still going through the experience of being separate from people. Granted, for much more negative reasons, like you know, just like being the only black kid growing up in school, or just having a different personality, or having or growing up with a different set of values at home. Just made me different from most of the friend groups that I found myself in, or most of the groups that I found myself in. You know, I didn't really feel like I was included in a lot of situations that I was in. You know, and I think that comedy and making people laugh became something where all of a sudden it didn't matter what anybody was or where anybody came from, or what anybody's situation was. Like they felt like they could approach me, or I felt comfortable enough to approach them. It was just sort of like an amazing icebreaker to just sort of connect me with people, and you know, people feel like they could come up to me and they knew me, and like it was like super comfortable. And I love that. I love the fact that you know, people open up to me like on a personal level after I've made them laugh. I think, and certainly ego is very rampant in the world of comedy. Like I'm definitely not disputing that, but you know, like I said, with dramatic actors, you know, dramatic actors can certainly more so than comedians get away with separating themselves from regular society and still thrive in their art. You know, which is fine, I guess, from an artistic standpoint, but from a personal standpoint, I just can't imagine living a life like that. Mohammed Riku, I don't know what that name is, but I'm good. Thanks for asking. Sorry for butchering your name. But just to finish off my point, man, like, you know, I just love that comedy connects me with people, and I just feel like that's the reason why it's always going to be a priority for me. And it's always, I feel like it's just going to be something that's going to be, it's going to force me to stay grounded. It's going to force me to stay humble. It's going to force me to not take myself too seriously if I want to do it well, if I want to do it at the highest level. And yeah, that's why, at least for right now, I feel like comedy is just the way for me. Specializing in that is just the way for me as a person, as a performer. That's just what I love doing most. So that's it for today, y'all. Thank you, Inspiring Acting, for all of your notes. It was nice talking with you, bro. Peace out.